In this video, we are going to look at borrowing money. So again, here at the top are some formulas that we are given in this chapter. So you do not have to memorize those. They will be given to you for test purposes. So on this first question, it says, suppose you want to purchase a house. Your take-home is $4,060 per month, and you wish to stay within the recommended guidelines for mortgage amounts by only spending 1/4 of your take-home. So let's first look at how much you would be spending in terms of 1/4 of your take-home. So if I divide that by 4, then I can be spending $1,015 on a house payment. So it says that I have saved $18,100 for a down payment, and I can get an APR from my bank of 5.45% compounded monthly. So they want to know what's the total cost of a house that I could afford with a 15-year mortgage. Okay, so we are looking at this formula up here that allows you to calculate your maximum purchase price. So we're going to first start with, I'm just going to say price equals, we're going to start with the payment that we can make, so that's $1,015, and then we're going to multiply it by, we have a 1 minus, and then we have a parentheses 1 plus. Our interest rate is 5.45%, so we do have to change that to the decimal, 0.0545. It said that it was monthly, so you divide that by 12, and then we're raising it to a negative power, and on the power we're going to have to multiply the 12 times it wanted us to do 15 years. So that's a power of negative 12 times 15, and then on the bottom we're taking the 0.0545 again, dividing by 12. So we have to first get on our calculator to punch that part out. So you'll notice that's what I've done here by punching that out. And then remember, you had $18,100 for a down payment. So if you add that $18,100 for the down payment, then that tells us that we can afford to spend $142,726.64. That would be the price of a house that we could afford. All right, on this second question, again, those are the formulas there at the top. This time we've got a credit card with a balance of $8,200. The annual percentage rate of interest is 17.49%. We plan to pay $400 each month in order to try to clear the debt. How many months will it take? And so what we're looking at now is this first formula, where it tells us the number of payments required to pay off a credit card. So R will be those payments. Notice we have to take the negative logarithm, and we're going to have a 1 minus. If we take our little r, the interest rate in this case, 17.49%, we have to change it to the decimal, 0.1749. Divide it by, since we're doing this each month, that means it's monthly, so divided by 12. And then that is multiplied by A, which is the amount you owe, that's the $8,200, divided by the payment you're going to make, which is $400. And then on the bottom, we have the regular log of 1 plus your little r again, which is the 0.1749, divided by your n, which is 12. So probably the hardest part is then actually punching that out on a calculator. I did it on Desmos. It does, make it a little bit easier to punch out because you can make it look just like you've written it there. And it asks us how many months, and so it just wanted us to round to the nearest months, and so notice in this case it's going to take 25 months. All right, finally, again, here are formulas at the top. Kim has bought a new car for $21,000. She paid a 10% down payment, and then she financed the rest. So if we first look at that, if it's $21,000 and she's going to pay a 10% down payment, then that means she's going to put $2,100 down. So if we subtract that from the cost of the car to see how much she borrowed, so $21,000 minus $2,100 is going to leave me with $18,900. So she's going to borrow $18,900. So in this case, we're going to try to figure out her monthly payment for the car. So we're using that formula. So the payment will be equal to, so she's borrowing $18,900. Her interest rate is 4.8%, so we say 0.048. And this is a monthly payment, so it's divided by 12. And then in the bottom of my fraction, I'm going to use parentheses instead of the square brackets. I have a 1 minus, 1 plus. Again, my little r is 0.048 divided by 12 again to the power of negative 12. Well, actually, it said 36 months, so it told us exactly how many payments. So if they would have said 3 years, you would have done 12 times the 3 years, but they told us directly it's 36 months. Okay, so you would punch that out first, which is what I've done here. So notice her monthly car payment would be $564.75. But then the question wanted to know what is the total she pays for the car. So if you take her monthly car payment and you multiply it by the 36 months, don't forget she made a down payment of $2,100, so you have to also add that in. And again, you can punch it out on your calculator. So what we see here is, in the end, she pays a total of $22,431 for this particular car.